Is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well... that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison and you spilled some of the... Yeah. When I grabbed the... Okay, and then I moved from Section C to Section...
No, that's wrong! You said you went to get the poison from Section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
well, you see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this. It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle. And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us, shoot! What's... Shoot! I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time! It had to be! It was in there before the rec room was unlocked!
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time! It had to be! It was in there before the rec room was unlocked!
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got...
No. It had to have been in there though. It had to be. It was in there before the...
No, that's wrong. You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already! Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
Shoot! I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself?
What are you talking about?
There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that? You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! I'm telling you, I did it! I hate you! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison? You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it. Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing. which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her. Shoot! I refuse to give up yet! Shoot! 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 Here's my answer! The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room. Shoot! And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room. I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were. You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room, while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! 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 I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly. The killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. Here's exactly what happened. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina. That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote! So, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Okay. My entire existence!
What did you say? Come on. What are you thinking?
Don't be mean!
What is this?
You should have been the one to die! What?
What?
What is this?
No forgiveness! I can't forgive this!
But...
Hina. They're friends.
Why? What are you saying? I won't forgive you. Why? Huh?
Hina. Hina.
Huh?
I have a favor to ask.
Huh?
Some protein.
Please!
Why? 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 Why?
Hey! Hey! Hey!
What is this?
What are you saying?
In other words, yes, indeed.
What the heck?
Of course! Yep. Too bad. It's true. Unbelievable. Well now, well now, well now, well now. Damn it! Pung, pung! Phew! Shing!
And?
What are you gonna do? Hey! Hey! But hold on.
Enough already.
Yes, indeed.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here. You see, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool. I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch, so even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things. And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder. However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken. I cannot betray those who would call me their friend. I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you. Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness. So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind. My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal. Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well. But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself. If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
Huh? No way!
Correct. However,
finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially. I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But...
What are you gonna do?
Uh-oh.
Too bad. Huh? Say what?
You know? Well?
Ooh.
What? What do you want? How strange. Hey!
Naturally. Don't make me repeat myself.
What?
It's all clear now.
Hey,
What the heck?
You want me to punish you guys?
What? But...
Wrong! Listen up! Yahoo! Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
But still.
What's the matter? Hmm.
Just as I thought.
Actually... Yaha!
What are you thinking?
Yep. Phew. Hey,
I want to be able to help.
Very nice. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Well? Uh-huh.
What?
Yep.
Huh?
Hello.
Hina.
Too bad.
What?
You guys? Too bad.
What?
Wah-wah? Well?
You.
Who?
Hey.
Yo. But
Yes.
Um...
Not possible. Stop talking.
Sorry.
No, 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 no! Huh?
What did you say?
What the heck?
I see.
Ah. No, 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 no!
Kyoko?
Yes, it's me.
Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here.
Wait, what?
It's true. Whew. Hey. Correct. Makoto. So... Goodbye.
What's this? Damn it! Hey! Unbelievable.
Just a second.
You too? You guys?
It's true. Hey. Shall we go?
Boom, boom.
Goodbye. Whew. Goodbye. Mukuro Ikusaba. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her. Mukuro Ikusaba.
What?